What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically in today's video, we are going to be looking at the fact that the S&P did manage to break yesterday as expected below our bottom support here. And you can see this continued to carry the price of the S&P all the way down to what could be possibly February low. So we have to discuss the possibility of how much lower are we going to be moving to and what we can expect to happen after that. We're also going to be looking at XRP and these other cryptos, which are starting to once again complete what could be the symmetrical triangle here. Some pretty insane stuff is actually happening within XRP and these other cryptos. You can see for right now, XRP is starting to close or just starting to trend above our resistance here, which is pretty shocking. It's finally starting to get the momentum that we're looking for. Bitcoin, for some odd reason, has done the exact opposite of the S&P, which has had a major correction in the past 2 to maybe 3 days. Bitcoin, however, has bottomed at its bottom support here and managed to shoot up from $38,000 all the way up to $42,000, which is insane. It's incredible. No, it's not a missed opportunity. There are still some very strong resistances we are battling right now, but this does open up some opportunities in the very near future that we have for the potential possibility of buying in and longing this position if we can continue to carry the onset of moving up higher. Ethereum as well, bouncing off bottom supports here. Pretty incredible to see these cryptos moving up. Nobody expected these cryptocurrencies to move up, but they are. So we do have to talk about that as well as the S&P. With that being said, guys, today's video is brought to us by Tommy Hollenstein. As you guys can see here, he is an artist and painter. He's a paraplegic who is doing NFT artwork, or he's raising money for his own business as well as charity. As you can see here, he wants to start his own charity foundation too. So very interesting. He actually paints his own artwork and then he's creating the artwork into NFTs, which is unique. And I figured that was the main purpose of NFTs in the very early beginning of NFT creation, that this is what it would be mainly used for. And since then, we've gone off on tangents and spirals into other things, which is super cool. But this is pretty much the beginning of what NFTs are. So definitely make sure to check him out, as well as the fact that he is minting and I believe a little over a day. You can see a day and 8 hours. So more information about Tommy Hollenstein will be at the end of today's video. With that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, diving into today's video, the fact that we're up 6% is pretty incredible. The fact that Bitcoin's up 8.29 is incredible. XRP's up 3.5, Ethereum's up 6.4. We're really starting to see some pretty insane movements right now, especially with Bitcoin. Nobody expected Bitcoin to see this rush in volume that we're seeing. Just jumping onto here, you can see I'm not really one to dive into this market just yet. Could we have bought in yesterday and leveraged to the upside? Sure. Is it a missed opportunity? I don't think so. We're in an uptrend here. You can see it clear as day that this is a current uptrend that's bringing the prices higher. I'd probably consider it to be more of like an ascending triangle. The problem is there are still some major resistances we do have to battle. Currently, those rely on 2 key levels of resistance. It's obviously the first one at about 41.8. You can see right here. And then the next one is where this moving average is right here. So there's 2 problem zones here. Ideally, if we can close above this resistance here, that'd be pretty incredible. But really what we're looking for is if we can break through, I'd say 40, right where this yellow band is actually the next resistance. Regardless, even if we're not near this, it's mainly the moving average. If we manage to get the prices to close us above these moving averages, which would probably be closer to about $44,000, $44,400, then yeah, I would consider buying in for a long position. The fact that we would break above these moving averages, which we haven't been able to do in quite some time, would be pretty incredible. But ideally, what we're looking at right now is it appears that maybe Bitcoin has created some sort of bottom. Short term, maybe, but at 35K could be the bottom for Bitcoin for the very short term that we have right now. You can see that we since bottomed off and we then started to create what appears to be higher lows, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty epic. And if this continues to carry, we should be able to use this uptrend to slowly pump higher. So there's a big chance how I'm seeing this is maybe we bounce again off the moving average, fall lower, fill in the gap here, and then hopefully we can pop through. I'm not entirely sure, but it does give us some certainty as to what's going on. But ideally, this now opens up, finally, we have something to trace and to track here, that there's this yellow resistance here. This is pretty much what we're dealing with. You can see this is the resistance right where the moving averages, and this is the uptrend here. So what that means for us is the next buy-in opportunity would pretty much be when we manage to either break above either A, this resistance here, pretty much where the moving average is, or B, below our uptrend here. So if we see prices in the next couple days on Bitcoin specifically break us through this moving average here, and we start to trend a little bit higher, close at about 45K, 45.7, this would say, hey, we managed to break bullish. We're creating this higher low pattern and we're going to continue to move up. And that would basically say time to buy in, because there's a good chance we're going to continue this, scalability to the upside here. Vice versa, if we fall back down again, and let's say we close below here, there's a good chance we're going to continue to dump here. Regardless, we could even consider buying in if we don't, and we actually close above just like this. We may be able to buy in for a more aggressive approach, but we may be able to buy in with anticipation of a swing to the upside here, as we've now proven with 3 confirmations, and that's what we were needing, was 3 confirmations. We only had 2 before. This is the third, that, hey, this is a solid support level that we're going to continue to use, and this is going to lift the price of Bitcoin up to the upside here, as this is the moving average, and this is going to act as a resistance. So it basically creates its own, symmetrical triangle here, where, hey, we'll either consolidate inside of here, and if we can break through the top, we'll buy in long. If we break through the bottom, we'll buy in for a short. So it does open up a cool pattern. It's nice to see that we're finally bouncing off this. Very unexpected though, as I wouldn't have expected a bounce off this bottom support here, and seeing such a big 8% candle wick to the upside here, especially with the S&P continuing to dump. But who knows, maybe today we'll start to see markets reverse back up because cryptocurrency is starting to move back up. I'm not entirely sure. Things are not yet over, so we just have to spend close attention to these markets here. XRP as well. This is pretty much what my main focus would be on, because we didn't miss out on what could be XRP's next run. Bitcoin, yeah, could we have, played it more aggressive, bought in here with expectations of it rising? Sure. But with XRP, we're a little more confident here. So we'll see how today closes. If we manage to close today much higher, maybe at like 77 cents, it's a good idea to buy in with expectations of a rise. It's an educated guess that will continue to swing up. We haven't obviously broken through just yet, but we're getting extremely close down to the wire. We've been talking about this in pretty much every video that we've been making the past, I'd say, week, that we've been tracking this major moving average here. Since we've been tracking this major symmetrical triangle here, you can clearly see we've been drawing it in continuously. You can see right here, yesterday we made this symmetrical triangle. This was the point of breakout, saying the flip is here. 2 days ago, we made a video. We're about to moon for XRP, and you can see we're trending inside the symmetrical triangle, waiting for the pop to happen. And here we are with markets actually starting to swing to the upside here. And obviously XRP is a little bit behind, but there's a very big chance that we could be breaking out and starting to see the rally to the upside very soon. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on XRP. I mean, if Bitcoin just broke to the upside with extreme volume here, and that's also something to be said, I wouldn't buy in just yet if you think you missed out on this run. I'm not going to do that. I just need to see the more confirmations, and we need us to break above this moving average, which we've continuously been rejected from on numerous occasions here. And, I just have this hunch that we're going to do the same exact thing, reject off here and fall lower. That could also open up a door, say, hey, if we want to play it a little more aggressive, when we do get rejected off that, we'll short it with expectations down to 39K. So that's a possibility. But with XRP, we're not yet broken of this major symmetrical triangle. So we might be able to do so in the next day. Literally by today, we might be able to have that answer. We can either A, close below where we started from, which would be unfortunate, but that means tomorrow we'll have our answer as to which direction we plan on moving. But regardless, if we manage to close today, there's a good chance we might be able to buy in tonight to leverage to the upside if we can close with enough volume above, with the prices just high enough to assume that we're going to continue to head up. Obviously, we'll be doing so on Bityard here. As you can see, they do have an XRP chart. We've been tracking as well the ascending triangle or symmetrical triangle here, specifically on XRP. Clear downtrend right like that, clear uptrend just like this, and you can see how they're pretty much at the last point here. We now have a decision to be made, and hopefully we could get that answer by today, if not tomorrow, the latest here. But once we can confirm closing either above or below this symmetrical triangle, there will be a bunch of volume here, which we can easily track by just taking the the mouth of the opening here, applying it to the top with expectations of seeing a pop all the way up to $1, which would be pretty incredible because XRP has not been at $1 in a very long time. If that happens, obviously we would put in a long position. You literally go over to market, type in the amount of leverage that you want, just like this, type in the amount you want to leverage on margin, and then click buy long if we expect markets to pump, or buy or short it if you expect markets to dump, which we'll have a clear confirmation and answer to in the very near future, probably in the next 24 hours here. Now, with that being said, you could also earn free cryptocurrency by clicking mystery box here once you sign up with the link in the description, as well as daily mine. You can also trade around with a demo account, which is super cool too. So definitely make sure to check both of those out, as I highly recommend checking them out. They are the #1 crypto leveraging exchange that I have been using for about 2 years now. So super cool. Definitely check them out. With that being said, guys, that's pretty much it for the cryptocurrencies. In summary, we expect to see an answer for XRP in the direction that we move to, with tons of volume backing it. So that would open up an opportunity tonight or tomorrow to buy in and leverage long, or buy in and short the markets. Ethereum here bounced off its bottom support, seems a little bit more unstable here. Again, I wouldn't buy into these. I wouldn't buy into Bitcoin just yet. There's still some uncertainty here as to how we're going to react with the moving average. Just honestly, it would not make sense to buy in at 41K with expectations of us hitting 44 and then getting rejected. It's not worth it. And you can see we've been rejected 3 times in the past off this moving average. It don't make sense. As for why we didn't buy in here, we only had 2 confirmations of this uptrend here. So there was still a big chance we could break through it, but we're waiting for some more certainty. And lastly, with the S&P, you can see we're pretty much at lows, back at the same price we were in February here, which is pretty insane to see that we're back now down here again. And there's a big chance we'll create newer lows. There's a big possibility of us seeing newer lows. You can see this was January lows that we hit back in February here, and then we had February lows that we hit currently in March here. So there's a good chance we'll hit, March lows in April again, but there are some buying opportunities for March, probably today, if not the next couple of days here, because I do believe that we are going to be moving lower. Just ideally, I do believe we are going to be moving lower. The thing is, we are hitting oversold, and what typically happens when the moving averages tend to hit oversold, specifically in the S&P, is we see a pretty big volume spike. I mean, it's been consistent. Granted, we haven't seen a lower movement in a very long time here, but typically when we do become oversold, we see a run, oversold run. It's a continuous pattern here. We did just have a bearish cross, which is a huge signal that we're going to continue to dump. Even a cross on the MACD, a bearish cross, which is also a signal of more correction to come. And we just started this. That's why I have expectations of 17 to 20. Although this might be a small opportunity to buy into dollar cost average here. If we become more oversold right around this time, I am expecting to see a small recovery, something like this, to hit this top. And then I do expect to see another dip, something like this. That's where my mind is, because we're oversold, small correction. Now we're going to hit top resistance here because we've now left that, and then we'll see that big correction, which could go down to 4K. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. I do want to talk a little bit more about Tommy Hollenstein with you. I want to give a huge shout out to Tommy Hollenstein for sponsoring today's episode. As with all NFT projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, Tommy Hollenstein is an American found object artist and a master of fine abstract art. A quadriplegic resulting from a bicycle accident in 1985, Tommy is a highly respected artist who utilizes the tires of his wheelchair as his paintbrush with his artistic ability to create his works. Now, his artistry offers far more than an array of color, as Tommy offers a quality experience, expanding your horizons and capabilities by virtue of the incredible man he is. Now, Tommy is actually creating a 20-foot by 400-foot painting, all done with his tires of his wheelchair, that will be cut into 10,000 pieces and turned into 10,000 NFTs that will mint for 0.25 Ethereum. Now, this allows the buyers to simultaneously relish both the digital and physical piece of each artwork as purchased. Now, while the concept of combining physical and digital artwork is itself not new, Tommy's endeavor is the largest known NFT project to date, making it the first of its kind. And this is an important distinction due to the rarity and complexity of performing such unique pieces of art. Now, because Tommy's also a holder in the Bored Ape Yacht Club, he is an ideal person to draw attention to the challenge that many people face because of his disabilities, as well as the opportunity for them to actually benefit from the movement towards decentralization and the creative economy in the Web3 realm. Now, because Web3 is less dependent on networks, it empowers independent content creators who may actually not already have a large social media following, but do have a compelling story and product. Now, another exciting layer of the NFT production is the documentation of the process behind creating the art. In particular, Wild and West is working with Lot 1 Productions to document the entire process to produce a documentary filled with interviews from his close friends, including many celebrities celebrities and details of Tommy's workflow. Every single person interviewed assisted Tommy in applying paint to the tires of his wheelchair to add special characteristics, and those who interviewed him include Ringo Starr, Chris Bauer, James Franco, Mike Bauer, and so many more. Now, allocation of funds, Tommy plans on actually having 3 major applications of the funds. First, he will establish the Tommy Hollenstein Foundation, a charity centered around helping the disabled community and passing down the legacy of using the tires of the wheelchair as a paintbrush. Now, second, Tommy will build a studio that is large enough to accommodate the requisite infrastructure for producing his artworks, and by producing a sufficiently large space that is equipped with the right tools, Tommy will be able to produce more art under better conditions without unnecessary limitations. Now, that has been a major barrier to date for producing art. Tommy will also use his studio to mentor the newly injured, providing new opportunities for him to train and engage others. And third and lastly, he will donate 10% of the proceeds to the Dream Center, known as DC in Los Angeles. And Tommy Hollenstein's donation will go to continue supporting these activities with a special emphasis on empowering those with disabilities. Now, Tommy has been painting for nearly 32 years and regularly donates paintings and the proceeds of sales to multiple charities. And Wild and West believes that Tommy Hollenstein's art will not only bring great joy to the art holders, but also generate greater awareness behind the challenges people with disabilities face and serve as a novel use case for the incredible potential of NFTs in the Web3 economy. So guys, for more information about Tommy Hollenstein's NFTs and mint date, definitely make sure to check out the links in the description of today's video. Once again, huge shout out to Tommy Hollenstein for sponsoring today's episode. As always, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.